What is up, guys? As you can see, we are going to do another amateur guide here. You can see we're missing still driver and short iron. So if you are really early stages, that's kind of what this account is going to be dedicated towards. Showing you guys some of the tournament shots and how to execute play on this game. For calling all you guys that might be Golf Clash fanatics here, we are going to be doing the boss battle versus Golf Clash Tommy. So here you can see we are going to go back one step to the amateur. Here you can see even a couple days into your account, less than a week. As soon as that Sunday to Monday transition happens, most of you are going to find yourself out of amateur all the way on to rookie. If you do go back to the amateur, you're going to see a significant drop in the coins. Might be much more inclined with what you're capable of spending. So we are going to pop up in here real quick and take a look. We're going to talk about some of the shot making at the amateur level. If you guys want to continue on, I am going to be doing some rookie right after this. So we will have some good content for you guys who are trying to transition to this game, whether you're here from Golf Clash or long-term ultimate golf enthusiast. I don't think you'll be disappointed with some of the stuff that we're going to talk about in this stream. Of course, one of the things that I'm going to be playing on is the Guide for Ultimate Golf. So if I was to search for that in Google and Android, it is free to download. We're going to be utilizing this app here for our ring adjustment. So for instance, you can see on my tablet here, if I go into pop-up mode, you will see that I have the crosshair set up. And we are able to jump right into the win calculator as well, all on the same screen here. This is an Android feature for all you newcomers. There is plenty of new content for you to be learned from that can be found in the guides at the top. If I was to go to top guides, you can see a lot of my latest and greatest hits here for early players is right here at the top. You can see all of these are timeline 3, 4, 5 days ago. And that's where this video will also reside after we finish. So without much further ado here, let's go in and we will take a look at this setup here. Do not remember exactly what hole this is, but here you can see we have a straight tailwind. One of the things that I want to point out is this is going to be fixed wind. So if you guys are here at this stream, your tournament in the amateur division is going to be identical. So you can utilize this stream to have the app and also gameplay play exactly the way that mine is. Now, one of the things that I highly recommend for new players, you can see I kind of back off, maybe not go full overpower. Staying in the fairway is going to be critical in this early stage. So you're not going to want to overdo it, even if that means that you had to take off a couple yards on the tee. Here you can see tailwind off the drive, tailwind off the approach. So keep in mind, if you guys are utilizing this guide, your wind is going to be the same. Also wanted to make one note here. You'll see the restart button. There is a free restart. 50 replays available. So plenty of time to make improvements here. Of course, you can do it on a budget if you'd like. For the amateur content down here, you guys might see that there's not any ball rewards for these boss battles. So with that being said, we probably want to kind of focus on trying to play on a budget, trying to build a ball library. That's kind of the nice intent. So looking at the basic club here, you'll see down 3.6 at max. That's kind of really close. And one of the things that I'm going to turn on real quick is my Wind HUD. You'll see that is a feature that's capable in this app once you have one set up, you can toggle it on. You can see that it puts my max value right at the top of the screen for you guys to utilize while you shoot. So, you know, one of the things that I need to factor in here is how much is that ball guide missing. So this is, you know, maybe a shot where people might try to overpower, stuff like that. I think what you're going to want to do is let the ball kind of roll out. At natural max club, which you can see this is right at this max line, you're going to see that it has some natural backspin built in. So I'm going to go real close to this 3.6 and just kind of go max on the ring adjustment. And like I mentioned, I expect the ball guide to stretch out a little, but not be too overwhelming with how much. Because of the fact that it is at max, it's going to have some natural checkup, and it's not going to necessarily roll out too much. But you can utilize that as a guide. You can see we got some nice tiebreaker points in there. You can see slight break to the left. So maybe if you can kind of make a little small adjustment, definitely an opportunity for you to take advantage of right off the first tee. Another strategy that some of the users use is they might play, you saw that we had 50 replays, they might replay that hole a bunch of times, try to, you know, get that one drop to fall, to really start yourself off on a good round. Here you can see 19 is our target score. Gonna be tough to hit that score. Let me actually take a look at this, because this might be a special ball, a little bit more special round. Typically, you know, a lot of these ball spout battles that they do, not a lot of ball rewards attached to them. Oh, there is quite some. So that's kind of why the scores are inflated here. You can see we're going to be playing for 5 trophy balls as well as 5 Mojaves. So that's 10 balls that we can win. So realistically, a good goal, what I would recommend, would be try to play for, you know, 5 balls. If you have to use 5, nothing necessarily wrong with that. In the event that, you know, that's what you need to get to that 19, 20 under. So what we're going to do here is, the biggest thing, like I mentioned, we're going to try to keep the ball in play, especially if you're not equipping balls. Balls do have special powers in this game to help keep you in the fairway. So if this is around a 3-ring adjustment here, we're going to put 3 rings in the middle of the fairway. And just kind of let this naturally roll out. And like I said, we're not going to try to do too much, because staying in the fairway is exactly what we want to do. If you are to roll into the rough, especially with early clubs, you can see how premature my bag is. A lot of 1s on most of my clubs. You will probably cost yourself a stroke. And here you can see another tailwind. So this is becoming a common theme already. Up here is max club. So, but we're going to be pulling down towards mid. So I might use more of a mid adjustment here. So right where it says 453. And here you can see utilizing some backspin. Keep in mind at max, it's going to have some natural backspin. However, it is going to stretch out due to that ball guide being straight tailwind. So it is going to stretch your ball guide out. I'm going to try to maybe land this second bounce right on the front. Hopefully that's, you know, a pretty good adjustment. I do think we're going to be pulling down towards min club. So we're going to try to do probably a little bit more min on our adjustment. So maybe a little bit more towards 4, 4 1/4, somewhere to that effect. And ultimate shot gonna be a premium, especially if you're going for those hole outs. Here you'll see we're gonna be coming in just a little bit too far right, and like I mentioned, it is definitely gonna roll out. You can actually see a little bit of downslope on that fairway now that we passed it. So if you guys can, you know, try to keep your ball guide even shorter than what I did for the setup, and we can give ourselves a good run to be able to keep it a little bit closer. So that's some words of wisdom. You can see what I did wrong. Keep in mind your win's going to be the same. Try to go back and make corrections on what I did there. As you can see, we are able to get the birdie, but not the easiest birdie. We could have definitely done a little bit better there with our shot making. Similar here, you can see, you know, down towards max club. We're probably going to try to land on the front of this green, let it roll out, and just kind of see how that does it. So in between max and mid here, I can't remember if I've set up a ring span for this. It looks like I haven't. So one of the ways to utilize that ring span tool, be able to say, you know, it looks like maybe about 10 rings. We're about 5 rings from that max line. So we're probably pretty spot on to using that mid club adjustment. So if I was to pull this down somewhere to 5, it's going to just show you very close to that mid adjustment there. 4.3. So we're going to go about 4.3, land on this front of the green, maybe just a hair more. As you can see that we're kind of pointing over towards the right edge of this green. And there's also probably going to be some rollout effect that we need to factor in. So maybe 4.5 is a pretty good estimator for you guys here. And you can see it's kind of landing, but you can see, look at all those bounces. Right, right, right. If anything, there's also maybe some slope there. So utilizing a little bit better starting point would be the key there. So you can see I miss about 8 feet. Maybe set up 8-9 feet to the left on the front end of your shot there. You'll have a much better rollout, and you can use a very similar ring adjustment to make. Keep in mind, like I said, you have similar win. If you have slightly varying clubs, that's fine. You don't have to have the exact same club as me. Just use the appropriate win calculation, which can be set up in the ball calculation here. So in the event that, you know, I have Raptor 3, Raptor 4, whatever you need to set up, just go what the app tells you to do, and it will give you nice solid estimation values. Here you can see hole 4, par 4. We are coming onto this hole here. We are going to try to get this one out in play. Same strategy as before. Not trying to do too much. Keep it in mind that our target is the, what was it, 19 number. 19 plus some tiebreaker though. So to be safe and to actually, you know, make sure that we beat this, we might want to post to 20. So definitely food for thought for you guys. Here you can see towards the front of the green, we're going to set up. Very similar strategy to before. Maybe play some of this left break this time. Left to right break, sorry about that. And we're going to be pulling up towards max. So one of 2 different ways to do this. We can either just kind of use max, or similarly, we can kind of start like this, knowing that we're going to pull up to max. They're going to give you slightly similar, very similar type calculation. So 5.6 is going to be pretty close approximation for you guys. So that's what we're going to utilize on this. And you can see I'm trying to purposefully land on the front of the green. Now hopefully there's enough room for you to do so as well, because landing on the front of the green, it's going to be a little bit more reliable surface than the fairway. So you'll see that I might set up like that a lot, and that is the main reason why. Well, it's much better to land that on the front of the green. If anything, if you could just try to move it a little bit more towards the front of the green. So just a tad bit more, like right on that front edge. Like I mentioned, it is going to be a little bit more reliable surface. So in the event that you have enough backspin and you're able to utilize a good shot there, try to put it on the green. Otherwise, you know, just shift it onto the fairway only as an alternative. But keep all that in mind. We are going to keep on rolling here. 4 under through 4. We get straight headwind here. You can see I have some balls, not very many. Can't even pick up 10 high flights. So we might have to use spider here. We have 4 spiders. And of course I don't have, unfortunately, a driver. Hopefully you guys have the Outlaw unlocked. If you don't, the best way to get it is through core and free chats. So just keep logging in, doing those free chats. The Ultimate Golf crew here is very good at rewarding players with free chats. They probably have the best free reward system in the game across all platforms. So definitely worth utilizing their free balls by just signing in, you know, and getting those free balls every 4 hours. definitely benefits you. Now here you're going to see we're just going to kind of aggressively set up and try to hit this as straight as possible with some hard curl. Like I mentioned, you guys can try to utilize a very similar concept with your structure here. Kind of full curl to the left. If you guys do have a little bit better balls than I do, definitely worth taking advantage of. Getting aggressive here to potentially get this extra stroke. You're going to want to try to play this aggressive, because if we can get this shot to fall, we're talking about an eagle. 19 under, the only way we're going to get there is with some eagles. So this is down towards quarter club here. You know, for those who don't know, one of the other times, you just come in here real quick. I got just booted out. Sorry about that. I do have like kind of a weird subscription, so it's a little bit tougher using my subscription. But let's just go back in here, activate this. One of the things, if you didn't see it, I did set it up in one of the other streams in the event that you wanted to check that out. I should have this in here somewhere. I have no idea what I'm looking for right now. I thought it was called, what's the name of this club again? Oh, no, you know what? I don't have this. That's right, I haven't done it yet. You know, we could real quickly set it up, but there's no real max up there. I would say quarter club at most. On a Sparrow, it's going to be a very small ring adjustment at quarter club. Quarter club doesn't mean quarter rings. As you can see, 25% is 0.1 versus 3 rings at max. So 0.1 is not, you know, 25% of 3. So much smaller adjustments when you get in close for this game. So definitely don't be over adjusting. You see, we're going to go very small, just a fraction, like a 1 tick mark. Having this spider, it is going to have a little bit more freedom, but if you do hit a great ball, there's a chance that it converts to ultimate. As you can see, just a little bit light either on playing the break, or a little bit, you know, maybe just 1 extra tick mark on that. You know, hopefully you guys can get that drop as the goal. Like I mentioned, get to that 19 number, get to that 20 number. Gives us in a, you know, a reasonable chance to be able to, let's see what the tiebreaker looks like. We're at 3,500 through 5. We're going to be, what is that? 9,000? No, 7,000, give or take, at the most. 7,000, it's going to be pushing it. It's going to be close. So you do want to try to strive for that 20 number. If you guys didn't see my ball library here, it's very limited. So we're going to do this on a budget. And the goal here is, you know, even if we get second, not a deal breaker. You can see there were still rewards there. So you're basically, just by playing this and finishing the round, you're giving yourself a really nice chance. And wow, unforced error there. So that was definitely something, and that's, you know, goes back to kind of what I was mentioning. Don't try to force the issue in these early stages. You're going to see, this is a perfect example. The game's just making me pay. So what we're going to do is just try to get out of the fairway here, try to get over the water if we can. Hopefully keep this in the fairway. You can see it just rolls off to the left hardcore. Don't overdo that drive, guys, because we would have easily made the green. This was an unforced error. We're going to just throw away a stroke here. So much easier for you to stay in the fairway there. You know, this would be a possible chance to think about, you know, in the event that we were, you know, really going to strive and try to go for this score. Unfortunately, you know, that great ball there is going to cost us. Definitely a good time to think about going back, trying to pick up that last eagle, trying to fix this one. That would give us potentially 2 strokes higher on this round if we can pick up both. We are close to the max ring value here, so we're going to go real close to our max, maybe a little bit heavy. And what I mean by heavy is going a little bit extra. It's uphill. We got some top spin, some green rollouts. However, we did hit a great ball, so you're going to see it shoots off to the left. So we are going to throw away this stroke. As you can see, it would have had trouble up spinning up that slope anyway at max club. So hopefully you do have just a little bit better clubs in the event that you get, yourself in a similar position. Hopefully we could get you up to the green there, and still able to manage your birdie, or especially give it a good run. Otherwise, as you can see, we wind up with par. So we're already falling a little behind here, but as you can see, like I mentioned, we're really going at it with budget balls, very budget clubs. So not a real ability to get too aggressive on this setup in the early, but that's okay. You don't have to necessarily. As you can see, they're setting up a structure on this game for you guys to be able to thrive even in the early stages. So regardless, all we have to do is finish, and we will, put ourselves in position here. Here you're seeing about 2.3 at the max, or towards the min value. It's real close to what we're going to try to go here. And you can also see that I'm landing this right towards the front of the green. Let's try to get back on that ultimate ball track. As you can see, we're able to do there. And here you can see rolling out. It's taking the slope nice. Just came up a little bit short. I wasn't sure how it was going to roll out. As you can see, it comes up just a tad bit short. So being able to put yourself on the hole and be able to maybe play it just a little bit tighter on the ball guide. Keep in mind, you're going to very similar move. And you can utilize what I did as a landing strategy and just kind of bump it up a few yards. Get yourself in a good position there to be able to make an equivalent adjustment and potentially grab that hole in one, which would really be a great thing to do. So again here, maybe not the greatest to go on this side with basic club, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to back off the power altogether, and we're just going to do kind of a precision adjust. Just kind of shoot for the fairway, let it roll out. As you can see with this basic driver, not a lot of yardage, just trying to get stuff off the tee. And you can see having this basic driver is really putting it in a tough ability for us to compete in the early stages. So hopefully you guys are working on that bag, getting that driver, and that's what I'll try to focus on next time for my next guide. So my next guide, we have a driver. And here you can see, here's the min club, here's the max and the min, here's the max, min, basic short iron. Again, I get forced out here. Just gonna restore this real quick. Hop back in here for you guys, down towards mid club. So a couple different ways we can do this. You can treat, let's say this ring span was, I think it's maybe a little bit more than that, but let's say we're about halfway in the span. 2.9 rings with the wind directional error, 2.8. But let's just say, there's 5 rings, there's 8, there's about 12, 13 rings total in the span, and we are, mid span, so that's probably a pretty good estimation for you guys. 6 rings, somewhere in there. Definitely looks pretty good. 2.8 rings to adjust. Let's put this back on so you guys can see me precision count. It's a little bit easier to see my movement. Of course, using a grid, totally optional, up to you. I've never been one to try to force players or encourage them, but it definitely does make training a little bit easier. You guys can see the lines very easily on your screen. Of course, as you can see, built into this tool. So in the event that you get it, which is free to download, you guys can also benefit from the usage of that grid for free as well. So there you can see we're able to roll in the putt. What hole is this? I was going to try to break this up into 2 parts. So that is hole 8. We're 7 under. Fortunately, a little behind where we wanted to be. We might have a chance to go for this late. One of the things we want to do here, unforced error on, what was it, 6 or 7. I'm going to just try to be a little bit more strategic, keep this ball in play. As long as it doesn't roll out into the rough, it's definitely more favorable. So why not try to go for this if we can. Try to make up some ground. Here you can see up towards max club. I'm going to stay fairly aggressive, so I'm going to try to land on the front, maybe not break the guide too much either, because I want to at least give this, you know, a potential chance to go in. And if you are using the wind directional arrow, you'll see that it, you know, stores that ring span for you. We're about 5 rings for max in this case, and we're going to do about a 5 ring adjustment. So pushing very close to max club. Keep it in mind, even if it looks like that ball guide might be coming in hot, I would expect into a headwind, it's going to compress down. So just having that in-game knowledge and knowing that these ball guides are going to be changing, kind of compressing down, and let's see towards max club. This is going to be a good experiment for us. How much does that ball guide stretch down? You can see that it's kind of, you know, mid-green, kind of landing on bounce too. Let's just see how this collapses down. How much are we going to get out of roll? And you can see it just kind of dies into the hill. It's courtesy of being at max club. Of course, I didn't know how it was going to break. So I probably should have just started just a little bit more left to right there. And that's, you know, definitely some words of wisdom for you guys. Try to maybe get your setup just to the left of the hole there. Let that just fractionally break to the right. With an ultimate shot, definitely a chance for you guys there. Being at 9 under would have been ideal. We still have the potential to shoot an 11, stock 11, and go for this score here. Going to be a little bit difficult at this point. Let's just recap here. Like I said, I want to break this into 2 parts. Let's just reset here and go out. I wanted to just talk about the rewards real quick. So keep in mind, even if we lose this, we are still going to get 3 balls of the trophy, 3 balls of the Mojave. We would definitely be able to utilize those. You know, the difference is 4 balls, so it's nice of them to, you know, develop a system where, you know, both paths, you know, you guys get some balls. All you have to do is complete this round. Even if you shoot, you know, a 2 under, you know, my gut tells me that you should just kind of stick it out and, you know, just do what you can. Take those 6 balls, migrate them to your next tournament, and go from there. You know, no reason that with, you know, even that 1 par 5 that we played on this side, with the Mojave, I think there's a really good chance that we got up right towards the fringe there, make an easy eagle pitch, or 1 stroke different just there. And then 2 strokes by keeping it in the fairway on that one where I got too aggressive. So keep all that in mind. Best of luck. I'll see you guys for part 2 coming up.